What's going on, guys? Hopefully everybody can see my screen. Got a little different setup today, so let me know if you can see everything going down. Let me get a few things pulled up here. All right, content. Let's see. Give me a little chat. Give me something in the chat if you guys can hear me, if everything's working okay on your end. Let's see. Yeah, okay. All right. Looks like we are live. So another Q&A today. Happy Sunday, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to go through some questions here today, and I'm going to need some input from you guys to how to make these lives better. Obviously, going through questions and answering everything is great. I love doing that, but if I can make them even more valuable, I'm down to kind of explore that path for sure. Let me see. I'm trying to pull up let's see here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Cool. What's going on, guys? Cool. You can hear me. Awesome. 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 Sweet, guys. Well, let's get started here. Going through these questions, and then we can kind of have just go from there. So always best just to go through the questions. And let's start with Omar here. Okay. So Omar, can we combine the reviews from US and Canada listing, or are they separate for the same product? Of course, much thanks. So this is actually a very interesting question that I haven't figured out 100% myself. So there are certain circumstances where your UK listings, your Canada listings, your US listings, they get combined reviews, and you can actually see in the reviews like other reviews from other countries. Now, everything that I've done, like they've meshed together well, but some people have complained about them not meshing at all. So my suggestion is to try to use the same ASIN, use everything perfectly the same from your US and your Canada listing to try to make sure that Amazon knows these are the same products and everything like that, so they can bind the listings. So yes, there is a way to do this, but there are ways you can mess it up. I'm sorry, I don't know. Like I should do a little bit more research on this because it's just worked out so nicely on my end that I really haven't had to dig deeper into it. But there is, you can combine these reviews, and that's important because it's very nice. You can at least get them on the same page where you can see other reviews from that area. Going on to Leo Studio. Hey Cameron, hope everything is well. Would you please share some experience with the new FBA product, Amazon PPC tactics and optimized methods? Much thanks. Yeah, so this is a good question. So right now, just kind of blanket statement, is because we can talk about PPC for hours here, but video ads. So getting a trademark, getting brand registered, and creating a video and doing video ads right now, I believe is the low hanging fruit. This is harder to do, especially in some niches that aren't so competitive right now. Obviously, if you go to niches that are doing 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, there are going to be a tons of competitors doing video ads. They are more expensive per click, but they do convert better. So it's something to try out. Plus, it's good to get a video ad anyways and just have it on your listing as well. So just to help boost conversions there as your last image. So that's what I would kind of do there for that. As in PPC tactics, like to be honest, over the years, PPC is getting more and more simple. Like you bid on certain keywords, you optimize for that, you double down on the ones that are working. You have discovery campaigns, as in like you're getting things into phrase campaigns so you can cover a little bit of a blanket to go find other keywords. But with tools like Helium 10 Cerebro and stuff like that, it's like you're not really, there's nothing unknown anymore. So really what it comes down to is PPC should be easy. So if it's not easy, then you're doing something else wrong. So like your listing's not good enough. You don't have enough reviews. Your photos suck. Your listing quality is poor when it comes to copywriting, SEO, keywords, things like that. Maybe you don't have A+ content yet. So boosting your conversions, boosting your reviews, things to do that should make PPC easy. Because as you get established, PPC should become an automated thing that just takes care of itself, and you really don't have to tinker with it too much besides going in there, looking at data, seeing if you're overpaying for something, maybe some new competition enter the market and they're outbidding you, whatever it may be. So, I used to be a giant PPC nerd too. This is kind of why I'm saying this, is like I've kind of pivoted of like, I wasted so much time doing PPC just because I wanted to tinker with something. It was fun for me. Yes, you can still get into it, but as I kind of go on now, like I'm thinking more 80-20 rule, as in like, what's the 20% of effort I'm putting into PPC to get 80% of the results? As you first launch PPC, it's going to be a little different, as in you're going to tinker a little bit more, come back within a week or two and completely revamp things because things could not be working, or you might just have to kind of start over. Bill Frowney, hey Cameron, I really love the content. I've seen one of your previous videos that you use Viral Launch for your product with photos. Unfortunately, when I reached out to them, they said they were no longer offering these as a service. I was just curious, what service do you use getting quality product photos, and did provide 2 contacts, which I am in the process of reaching out to you, but just wanted to see what you recommend for these quality photos, as this is my first project in the middle of launching. Thanks so much. So yeah, it depends on your product, but if you want lifestyles, I recommend Dripped Photography, and I have these linked somewhere around. So these are actually, I got to talk to these guys. They're pretty cool. I got to talk to them, and they're from Viral Launch's team. Viral Launch has stopped doing photography, but this is the team that they outsourced it to. So Drift Photography and Amazon Best Photos, I believe. Oh, there it is. The best Amazon photos. So these guys right here, I don't know I do have coupon codes. They're like Cameron J or Cameron James, somewhere in that range. You get like 10, 20% off, something like that. I don't have those on top of my head because it's like Cameron James for one, and then it's Cameron for the other one. So I forget. But if you email them, tell them, Cameron James trying to take offer of that. But yeah, these two, like, look at this. This is a beautiful photo. For lifestyles, this is the way you want to go. Just to have, people who can, get models, do the real thing here, get props, set up studios, things like this. Like, do you have a gym that looks like this? And so it's really helpful. So I like to get something like this, especially for most photos. But there are certain circumstances where lifestyles don't do the best, or they're just not worth it, right? Because lifestyles are the most expensive. So, if you can get away with infographics and 3D renderings, you have that choice too, which you can go on Upwork.com, Fiverr for that kind of stuff. And there's tons of other services out there for that. But it changes so often and frequently, because Amazon's such a young space. And so these services come and go, and you try one out and it sucks, and you try another one out and that sucks. And then you finally find a good one, and then the good one, it blows up and it becomes too expensive. And so it's just kind of like, you got to go find these ones on your own a little bit sometimes. But yeah, so it depends on what you're trying to do. But for lifestyles, these are the two I recommend big time. Let's go through some of these lifestyles. Take a look here. Yeah, these are beautiful, and they have Amazon experience too, because that's a big thing. They understand how the Amazon customer works, and everything like that. So hopefully that helps, Bill. Next, Romaine Hudson. Hey, Cameron, if your product isn't selling in Amazon's warehouse, do you recommend removing this product and move on to something else? Do you recommend it? Depends. It depends on the product. Like, if you can get away with it, break even and just get your cost of goods back, push it out of Amazon because it's your best bet. But yeah, if it's just sitting there and there's nothing you can do and you can't make a sale without actually like losing money, then yeah, just take it out and try to liquidate or something like that. 2, how long do you recommend running PPC? I recommend running PPC from the start all the way to the finish. Like, always have some type of PPC going, whether that's, maybe you're doing 10% of total revenue in PPC spend, or maybe just a little bit, like $5 a day, $10 a day, because Amazon does like it when you spend money on their platform. They'll never admit that, but it's just something I've seen and think myself. 3, how can I get quality photos for my product? I just showed that there for Bill. After finding that great product, should I continue paying for Helium 10? Absolutely, because you're going to want to use their Cerebro tools. You're going to want to use their keyword management tracking tools and everything like that to get PPC campaigns going and track your products. Also, the profit tracker, the feedback request, the seller review request automations. So yeah, Helium 10 is like, I have that thing running all the time. Should I let Amazon take their fees from credit card rather than a regular bank account? That's up to you. Fees, you can have, so for PPC, definitely go through a credit card, especially if you have rewards for that. There's some credit cards out there that you get like 3% rewards for marketing. So that's smart there. 6 steps to create the best product titles. It's like a dance. It's a dance between keyword research and making it sound good. So how do we stuff as many keywords in there as possible to making it sound really good? So I think I have some videos on that, and kind of go deeper in that, but that's something that I'd have to write out and show you guys a little bit more, just for the fact of it's like this little art. If you go to my field manual, I think I describe it pretty well in there, and I actually do an example of writing a title. So go check out my field manual. It's always linked underneath my videos, or most of them anyways. Jen here. Let's see if you can see Jen's comment. Yep. Aside from China, other countries are reliable to source products from. Yeah, there's tons of countries. Vietnam, Thailand, Pakistan, India, Mexico, South America. So it's really just depends on what type of products you're choosing, right? If you're in the US, there's tons of things here, Europe, Canada, just depends on the type of product. So yeah, absolutely. You just got to do some digging. It's just harder. That's why Alibaba is so cool. And that's why Alibaba is a multiple billion-dollar company, is because they did such a great job of connecting the consumer to manufacturers and bridging that gap, whereas, it's not an easy thing to do. But yeah, that's the questions there, guys, today. Let me go back up to see if there's anything else on the community page here that we can answer. So what are you guys struggling with? That's interesting. I'll go through that, but let me actually, if I go back here, let's go forward maybe. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions here in the chat. I'm willing to stay on here for a little bit and go a little deeper on stuff. So throw me some questions here in the chat and I'll get to them. So we got Raki. Hey boss, what's going on? Kati, perfect. Mirza, loud and clear, great. Caddy, what do you think about remote fulfillment with Amazon FBA? I think it's awesome. It's a great bridge gap. If you are getting started on Shopify or other platforms, and you can just do multi-channel fulfillment with FBA, because then you don't have to worry about third-party logistic companies or anything like that. So it's really cool. Amar, you deleted your message. Hopefully you said something not very... Hopefully it wasn't mean. Just joking. Intuitive Tech Man. I found out Walmart does have a reasonable method for slightly shielding your trademark, kind of like Amazon brand registry when I research it. Fantastic. Yeah, that's good. I need to get deeper into Walmart. That's something that I kind of feel guilty about, of not going deeper on Walmart. So guys, you keep me updated. I'm going to rely on you guys for the Walmart updates, the marketplace. How is your guys' business doing there? What's going down there? Because, you guys could be helpful there. Parfait Gansarnari. I butchered that, but great name, by the way. How do you package a handmade product? You do it by hand, right? If it's a handmade product, you're probably going to package by hand because you're going to have not that many of them. So I would get something that you like, that you think is cool. Maybe it's like a cool little gift bag that you're putting it in. Yeah, you're going to be creative with that. It depends on the product too. So like, what is it? Like, think of something that you'd sell, like a little niche store, something like in a mom and pop store. Like, how would that be packaged? Would it be wrapped in this nice brown paper with a bow around it, like with strings and a bow? So, if you're doing a handmade product, people expect it to be an experience almost. So like, you got to make that an experience. Intuitive Tech Man, what would you tell somebody that wants to import, sell actually ink writing pens from China as far as safety, custom shipping cost? Well, if you're just writing pens, your shipping costs are going to be easy. Customs, I can't think of. You got to ask for your HS code from your manufacturer, right? So if we go to Google here, HS code lookup. So I don't know what pens are. So we can go to ink pens, see if anything pops up. Printing ink, writing, drawing ink, other inks, printing ink. I don't see any duties on that unless this is not scrolling over. Printing. Okay. How about pens? Pen knives. No. Let's see. So you got to ask for the HS code. Then you can look up this code right here and get the actual thing. So your manufacturer will know that code for you. Ballpoint pens, maybe? What am I doing wrong here? It's a government website, so of course it's not good. Let's go here. All right, ballpoint pens. So pens here, you got general 80 cents each plus 5.4%. Free from these countries. I don't know what those countries are. I don't know what the code is for China. Special 6 cents each plus 40%. Yeah, you got to get the exact HS code of what they're doing. Felt tipped fountain pens. 40 cents each. That's preposterous. Preposterous, if I could say that word correctly. But that's ridiculous. I hope that's not the case. It's a lot. 40 cents per pen? Like what? Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I'd have to do more digging in that. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit here. Go back to the comments here. Where are we at? Let's start with Tina here. So I'm a little behind already. You guys are hopping on. That's awesome. Tina, hi Cameron. Do I need to make a brand even though I found a product yet? Yeah, you need to get yourself set up for a brand, right? So if you just watch my last video, I go even deeper of why Amazon's making it harder to not build a brand. And I actually have a video coming out this week that's going to even go further into why you need to build a brand. So yes, you need to get a brand name picked so that you can get yourself set up that way, and at least get brand approved. And then if you're serious about the product long term, get trademarked, and you can get brand registered within a week now. So you just need the pending trademark number. Tassin, Yula. So once Amazon receives our inventory, it's going to go live. So do we still have to run PPC? Yeah. So you can just turn PPC on, and it won't actually turn on until the product goes live. Tassin. So yeah, if you get your product up there, you get your inventory sent in, and then you start your PPC campaigns, it's going to be inactive until that product goes live. So if you want to get that, that ready to go, so as soon as your product goes live, the PPC is going, you can do that. You also can wait too, because your conversions are less because it trickles in. It's really annoying. So when you get a product in, like they'll get 4 available or 10 available, or it's not in 2-day shipping yet in Oregon or California. So people see your ads and they don't convert as well because there's not in 2 days shipping yet. So people don't convert. So you can wait till it gets a little bit in storage. But I like to be aggressive in that circumstance and just have PPC ready to go, rearing to go right away. I just get as many sales as I can within that first day or two. Let's go. Let's see. Your boy Undertag BC. Do you have any inspection company sessions for Chinese manufacturers? Do you ask for samples with or without your logo? Great question. So I have inspection services in my field manual. If you go underneath any of my YouTube videos, there'll be a field manual link there. I do ask for your email there. That's the only thing I ask for in return for that field manual, but it's like 46 pages long, and I do have my inspection companies in there that you can go reach out to. And if you don't like my emails, I just try to give out value and things like that. I have like a newsletter on Fridays that go through like my last YouTube videos, anything that I'm doing as an entrepreneur, anything that I'm liking right now. But if you don't like them, just unsubscribe. But that's all you have to do to get the field manual and find the link there. And then do you ask for samples with or without your logo? So yeah, it depends on the product, but preferably I want it with the logo, but it takes longer and it's more expensive. So you have to weigh these costs, these pros and cons, I should say. Tina, hi Cameron, when starting off, should I do brand registry even though I'm not sure if my product ends up selling? So if it's something you had checked, something you feel confident about, you should do brand registry right off the gate. But if you're still just testing the waters, maybe it's a more generic product, don't worry about it. And just get brand approved and move on there and upgrade when you can. But yeah, so that's what I'm kind of telling people, my private clients, is like, we're going to pick the product we are so confident in that we're just going to get brand registered off the gate, because we're going to do this for the long term, not just 6 months, but a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. So this is a easy investment. Tassin, explain more about seller SKU. So what do you mean by that, man? So your seller, you get your SKU, right? So if I'm thinking correctly, it's just whatever you want it to be. So you can literally put in 20-pack hair braids, and the SKU is more for you to have organization within that. So yeah, don't overthink that one. Just put something that you can remember yourself, and especially as you get more variations to kind of have some organization there. Millie, would you recommend using Amazon to trademark or using an attorney? Are there any strings attached to going through Amazon? Yeah, it's expensive. So I would try to find an attorney outside, maybe Fiverr, Upwork, because getting a trademark, it's so black and white. Like, they fill out documents. Yes, they need to be somewhat competent, but it's probably one of the most simple lawyer things that have to be done. So you can go ahead and just find one on Fiverr, Upwork. You can even do it yourself. You can watch YouTube videos of how to fill out the trademark thing yourself. But I find someone local if it's cheap. Sometimes locals, it's a hit or miss, right? Sometimes local, they're like, well, you have no choice. You have to use me because I'm in your city, and it's $5,000 or something like that. Where if you go to Upwork or Fiverr, you can find someone to do it for 250 or $500, somewhere in that range. Trademark has a good one, but that's around $800 last I saw, and I didn't have the best experience. They got it done, but I didn't have the best experience. Um, but Amazon lawyers, from what I've seen, they're always overpriced. That's why it's so cool right now. With you can use a pending trademark for your brand registry. That it's so nice. You don't have to go through the IP Accelerator program and get wrecked by the Amazon lawyers. So yeah, let's see. Can Errol? Hey Cameron, if you don't mind, I would like to ask a question. It's like I got a business partner on my LLC, but when we open an Amazon account, I did not register him, so that would be a problem. Yeah, Amazon doesn't like this, but you should be fine. We never did that. But, they're getting more and more needy, I guess is the term, for all this kind of stuff. But if there's absolutely zero chance it makes a big difference if that information, like Wyoming, they keep that information private. So Amazon would have no idea who's on that, involved in that business. Umar Butt, been following you for quite a while. You the man on a scale of 1 to 10. Thank you, Umar. I appreciate that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to run PPC for very first listing? It's very important to learn it. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but you definitely need to experiment with it because it could be an easy layup. It's like the first thing. It's like if you can make PPC work for our first product that just started, like with no reviews or anything like that, like you don't know how lucky you are. That's beautiful. You're going to get you can get sales for 60% A cost, even like 80% A cost, and it's out like kind of at will. That's a great sign. I know that doesn't sound great because it's not profitable, but just think about it. You just started, you have no reviews, and people are buying it like with no reviews, like even with 80% A cost, that's freaking fantastic. So that's kind of what you check. But if it doesn't work, you got to tweak some things. You got to figure out PPC. There is a learning curve. So just be prepared for that. Parfait, would you recommend taking to the supplier before adding your product to Amazon or other way around? Would you recommend taking to the supplier before adding your product to Amazon? So I place my order, then add my product to Amazon, if that answers your question. No man ally. Do we need to do PPC campaign and advertise for our first product? Yes, I recommend that. Parfait, speaking of brand, how do you get brand approved? Any recommendations on where to get your brand? So brand approved, so if you look up a video on my YouTube, which I could pull it up right now, hopefully, let's see. Video, if you go to this one, it didn't do very well. I thought it was a very important video, but it didn't do very hot. Maybe that's just my fault, or maybe just released at the wrong time. But it's this video right here. Do you need a trademark? This goes through the difference between brand approval, brand registry, the history of all this stuff, what's going down, and how it kind of works now. I do use my iPad and I write a lot of notes. And the only complaint I have about that video myself is that my handwriting is atrocious. So forgive me there, but it has some good information for that. So I would go check that video out to answer that question more detailed. Millie says, thank you. Hey, you're welcome. Perfect. To go answer your second part of the question, where do you get your brand? You pick up your own brand name. Just make sure it's not trademarked already. Angel, hey Cameron, how do I change my legal entity? My full legal name is boldly visible to shoppers on Amazon. So you can go into, literally there's a, if you go to settings and you go down, there's literally a tab that says legal entity. You can change it there. Mandy, hey Cam, I just came across what's called a skeleton listing. Is that beneficial and what's the purpose of that? I only know that sellers have that to test out a product. So skeleton listings can mean a couple things, Mandy. Yeah, I need to know a little bit more information. So like there used to be, people call them all sorts of things like vampire listings, skeleton listings, but where my brain went first with that is, so what happened, this doesn't happen as much anymore, but it still does happen. There'll be like listings that don't exist anymore, essentially. Like they're still like in Amazon's catalog, but no one's selling that product anymore. And say like someone abandoned a product that has 10,000 reviews, like they're just not selling anymore for whatever reason. So people would hijack that listing and make a new product on there and it have 10,000 reviews and it'd be a totally different product. And then you go down to the reviews, it's for, just for the sake of an example, it's for like a fountain pen, like a pencil or whatever it may be, a pen, pencil. And the product they're selling is like an air conditioner kit. And you go down, you read these reviews, 10,000 reviews, it's about pens of pencils. So they hijack it and they take it over and they use those reviews. I don't see that as much anymore, but I'm sure it's still going on. But I don't know, skeleton listing, do you mean like there's this bare bones, there's nothing to it, like there's no bullets, Maybe just a basic title, like maybe just one photo. I guess I need to know what you mean there. Sky Eagle. Hey Cameron, do I still need a UPC code after register my brand? Yes. So you need the UPC code before you can even register your brand. No. Okay. Depends. So for on Amazon to register your brand, you need your UPC, but trademark to get your trademark, get that pending. I don't think you need a UPC. I don't recall. There's potential, but you need it anyway, so it's not a big deal because it takes 10 seconds. Intuitive Tech Man, thanks, Captain. You are welcome. Tina Dang, once we pick a brand, can we also change it later if we don't like it? No. No, this is really hard. It's really annoying. I actually have a video that's kind of it doesn't work anymore, and it was the most complicated thing ever to even get help with that. So I go to my videos here. This works. Where's it at? It's far down here. Maybe I'll just type it in here. Search Cameron James, change brand name. Let's see. So it's this one right here. And essentially you had to go in these and use these master files, like with these Excel sheets. And it was, even for me, it was a nightmare. It took like a month to fix. And now people are saying it doesn't work at all. So I haven't tried it for a while, but it's just easier to pick a brand name you like. Don't put a lot of pressure on it. It's just a brand name. Like you can always start a new brand later, I guess, if you want to. But yeah, that's a tough one. Also, look at that face right there. That's hilarious. But yeah, so pick a brand name you like. Take a little time on that because it's almost impossible now to change it. Or if it is possible, it's a terrible thing. Let's see here. What's the next question? Also change it later. Angel, thank you. I tried to change it, but I saw it. To update legal entity name or address, you must retake the tax and by click. Yeah, they're going to make you re-verify your identity for sure. Mandy Sim, I meant to say a dummy account. Dummy account. So let me go back to your other question. Like you just came across what's called a skeleton listing. A dummy account. So it's like someone who has multiple accounts and they're just using it to mess around with. Yeah, I'm still a little lost there. I have multiple accounts. I guess I have dummy accounts then, if that's what you mean there. Parfait, does the UPC code has to be on the product itself? No, it does not. If you're just selling on Amazon, just the Amazon barcode, which you get after registering your UPC code. Mini Sim, thank you. You're the best at explaining everything. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's I try to dumb things down because I'm dumb myself. So that's how I, anytime someone explains something to me, I like to ask like, okay, now explain that like I'm a 5-year-old. Because that's the way I do it. Like my brain works in these little doodle pictures, and it's like that's how I learn the best here, for sure. But yeah, let me know if you guys got any more questions here. Otherwise, guys, I do want to say make sure you get your Q&A questions in here in the community post. Again, I post this every week, and so get your questions down here. Because there's like 100 questions you guys are asked during the lives, and people even like they'll watch the recording and then ask questions about that. But this is where I want you to ask questions, just to help me out there. And yeah, let's see. Tassine, can I just copy my Amazon store name to put on brand registry? Yeah, if it's not taken in the USPTO office, and make sure it works with your products. But yeah, that's usually how it works best. So you want to pick your brand name and then make your store name that, because when you get brand registered, you can make, let's go find it. Like if I go, sorry, this is a business account too. So Nike, so I go to Nike here. So if we make our store name exactly what our brand name is, we can have a branded storefront. So if I go to brand Nike here, this doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't work that way. Whoops, just bump the mic. Let's try Sony. We go to something Sony. And we go to visit the Sony store. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So you can make your own brand like this. So when you have a branded or brand registered brand name and you make the storefront the same name, you can create this. So you can have all your products displayed. You can make essentially like a little website where people can browse all your products and everything like that. It's not the biggest deal at first because you only have one product, but as you get more products, this is kind of cool. So yeah. Angel, but my business is not registered yet, so I do not have an LLC yet. Yeah, you need to wait for that then. You need to get that figured out first. Then you can change it. Why would they let you change it if you don't have an LLC? Like, it doesn't exist. Parfait, every product you sell has to have their own UPC code, correct, even variations. Intuitive Techman, where does made in China have to be physically on the product you import? How big? So it just needs to be visible and in a font that's readable. So I usually, what I do is my FN SKU, so the Amazon barcode you get, I have made in China put on the bottom of that. So it's on like the barcode essentially for Amazon's barcode. Yeah. It's on the bar. It's so think of your package as being completely black, and then there's that little white UPC code you're used to seeing, but it's the Amazon UPC or Amazon barcode, and then underneath that you have your ASIN, and then you have, I guess it'd be your FN SKU now, and then it'd be your title, and then it would be made in China. Let me look up. I have another video on this, guys, that you can look up to how I do this. Karen James FN SKU. There it is. Customize FN SKU. So go to this one. And it shows you, if I don't hover over it, you see it on the bottom right of that thumbnail. So I have my hazard warning on there. I have made in China. Just watch this video, and this will help you find that and do that properly. Intuitive Techman. Nope, I just answered that one. SM Hi from the UK. What's up, man? What is it in the UK? It's probably like 6 or 7 p.m. About to have some of your nightly tea and your biscuits. I'm just joking. I'm actually going to Ireland at the end of July, and then early August after Ireland, we're going to spend some time in London. And the last time I was there, we had to leave because of the good old Rona. So we did like 4 days in Ireland, then we went to Dublin. So we did like Galway and that coast or the West Coast. When we drove around, it was a blast. And then when we got to Dublin, like the 5th day, they're closing up the bars and they're closing up everything. And then we're going to do UK eventually and Scotland, but we just had to go home because I was scared that we're going to get stuck there. So going back there, I'm super excited. I feel like the UK is just, it's where I belong. Green, rainy, love it. People are nice. Hackview Original. Amazon has introduced transparency code. Why do we need UPC code? Because UPC code tells them that this is a real product and it gets registered with a GS1. So they know that brand is associated there, which they also need. They want to make sure that these recycled barcodes aren't getting there and these crappy products aren't getting on there, but a real brand that's backed by GS1, a real UPC. And then they're going to want the FN SKUs because they're going to want to know what product it is. And then the transparency code, probably I'm guessing they could do either one. Like maybe they will get rid of the FN SKU code, but definitely need UPC code regardless. But transparency code will have the FN SKU intertwined with it. So that one you're kind of right there, as in you don't really need both. So we'll see what they do there. They'll probably bounce that one eventually. Tassine, can you please show us how to check if the name is not taken on USPTO? Will be very helpful. Yeah, I can do that right now. So we go to Google and let's go to USPT office. It's kind of redundant, but pulled it up. Trademarks, searching trademarks, search the trademark database, basic word, and then let's see here. So we just go to Nike as like a layup example, submit query, and then we see that there's hundreds of Nike trademarks live, and this will tell you what categories they're in. So downloadable virtual goods, computer programs, footwear, clothing, retail store, services, features, virtual goods. And that's why they have so many, right? Because they're in different arenas, different types of categories. So we got a Nike here. This one's actually abandoned. Let's go to another live one. So we can see dead or alive. Let's see, Nike live. This one's for retail store services and online retail services. So that's why like you can have different brand names do different things, right? So it can't be pretty much what the office does. They'll look at your brand name. They'll see if anybody else is branded out there like yours, and say there is two. You have Jim's. I can never think of a brand name off the top of my head. Think of. Yeah, I can never think of it. Think of Home Essentials, maybe. And one is a brand for a retail store that sells furniture. And then you have Home Essentials again, but it's for essential oils, for your home, for breathing in at home. Well, the USPTO office, they could come back and say, no, this will confuse customers. We don't want this. We don't like it. Or they can come back and be like, well, you're in two different categories. I don't think customers will get confused with this. They're two separate products. And that's why we have these categories. You saw what I was showing you here, these different numbers and codes. And so we're going to allow both to come on the market, right? Because who cares if one's a branding for a train company, another branding is for sporting goods. You know, there's so many names in the English dictionary you can use. So that's what they kind of do, these different categories. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's see, Lebowstick. Do you have family links to Ireland or just for an adventure? So we're actually going to a friend's wedding, which they have family links there. My girlfriend's last name is Irish for sure. So I think that's on her dad's side. She's like part Italian, part Irish. And if she wasn't, she might have been lying, but she said there's a castle, her old family castle there. So we'll see if she's lying. We'll go find that. But yeah, I mean, Ireland's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of, I know they're different, but like I love nature. I love green. One of my favorite trips was New Zealand. It's just one big green national park, essentially. It's so awesome. I feel the same thing in Ireland. Like everywhere you go, there's a castle. There's beautiful rolling hills. You got Cliffs of Moher. It is just, you go to a local pub. The Guinness, by the way, the Guinness there tastes 10 times better than it does in America. I don't know why, but I freaking love it. And because I hate Guinness here, but in Ireland, Guinness is freaking sweet. It's so delicious. It's like a dessert. So yeah, I'm excited to get back there just because, man, I love it. I love Ireland. Hacks Few Original. How to negotiate price with Alibaba suppliers if the quantity is minimum as beginner to Amazon. Yeah, so I don't really negotiate prices too much when I'm getting a low MOQ just because you have no ammo. They're doing you a favor. So really when I say negotiate with the MOQ or negotiate with the supplier when I first start, usually what I'm negotiating only is MOQ. So I don't have to get 1,000. I can start with 200. Obviously the price has to be reasonable, but I don't expect to make a crap ton of margin with an MOQ of 200. That's just not... No. And you get multiple quotes too. You get multiple quotes to kind of see what the market looks like and you come back, hey, I really want to work with you guys, but you're $1 more expensive than the other guys. I think your quality's better. I really like working with you. I enjoy talking to you. Is there any way we kind of meet in the middle? That's kind of how I like to do it too, but just understand where they're coming from too. If they're making you 200 units and they have to stop their manufacturing line to make you 200 units, that's pennies for them. They don't they're banking on you coming back and being another client, which 1 out of 100 will probably be a recurring client because just think about how many people actually scale and do well. So that's kind of my thinking on it. Tina, what do you think of the toys and games category? Would it be best to sell first time? No, I hate it. It's trendy. Don't like it, but that's just personal. A little bit more liability too. But think of all the toys that came out last year. They're obsolete now. It's all about the new trend. And I don't want to do trends. I want to sell something that's going to build like an asset over a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road. Angel, can you please talk about product image not showing on listings after some hours? Thank you. Yeah, reach out to the catalog team. That could be a lot of issues, but reach out to the support there. Tassine, thanks, brother. You explained well. You're the best. You're welcome. Last question here, guys. Hacks Few Original. There's 5,000 competing products when I search for silicone brush holder in Amazon India. If I'm a new seller, can I still get good sales of the product if I do good listings, high quality image? I don't know, man. That's a lot of competing products. It depends on what the top competition looks for that. So it really just depends on what the market looks like a whole. What are the top sales doing? What would it take to get to the top there? But yeah, guys, hopefully it's helpful. I want to do a little longer one here today just to cover more stuff. But if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe down below. Leave me some comments on this video that you enjoy this. That helps me out to make more. Maybe I'll start combining some live Q&As and some maybe I'll do live product research or live something, so let me know if you guys will like something like that. But cool, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.